God's blessings to you from our parish family here at St. Simon of Cyrene, where their ministry sites at St. Agatha and St. Martin de Porres churches. Offer this reflection on the scriptures for this coming Sunday for your spiritual nourishment and encouragement. Before we begin, let's take a moment to recognize God's presence in each of us and to give thanks for all our blessings. My friends, if I asked you what the core message that Jesus is seeking to convey throughout the Gospels, what would you say? Many of us would likely respond to conform our lives to be like Jesus. It's not a wrong answer, but it begs the question, can any of us even come close to the person Jesus ultimately grew into at the end of his life? Since Jesus was God, then the answer is, of course, no. In reality, all of us are unique to this world. There was never anyone like us in the past. There will never be anyone like us when our earthly existence ends. Jesus was unique to himself and had to grow into his full self-knowledge as the only begotten Son of God. He did that in constant conversation with God his Father, through study of the Scriptures, and through his lived experience. This is the path provided for us as well to become the best unique person who ever was, whoever is, and whoever will be. So back to the core message of this coming Sunday's Gospel. The central theme of the entire Gospel is forgiveness. But first, we might question this since we often have a narrow understanding of forgiveness. We often interpret forgiveness as something that helps two or more people deal with conflict and reach some form of reconciliation to be able to move on. But I personally like the literal interpretation of forgiveness, that is, to give in to new possibilities of relating and moving ahead into the future. Forgiveness is not just about I'm sorry and I forgive you, but involves a new commitment to prevent conflict in the future and to repair any harm done in the past. When we sin, Scripture tells us that God immediately forgives us. Of course, to be effective, we need to accept that freely given forgiveness from God. The reality is that God knows that we make mistakes, part of the free will package given us at conception. But God's deepest desire is that nothing impede us from continuing to pursue and realize our God-given unique purpose in the world. Note that in most healing stories, Jesus physically heals the person, but also often says, your sins are forgiven. The purpose is to let the person know that the God who brings physical wholeness also offers emotional and spiritual wholeness. This is why when we anoint people who are ill or dying, that the sacrament invites a healing of spirit to maximize the effects of physical healing, or in the case of someone who is dying, to free their spirit of any impediment that would resist them letting go in the moment of passing and falling into the eternal embrace of our loving God. How many times does God give us opportunities to change? The number, thankfully, is infinite. How many times do we give others or ourselves the opportunity to change for the better? Hopefully, these are endless as well. On behalf of the Catholic Christian family of St. Simon of Cyrene Parish, I want to invite you to join us this coming Sunday for one of our two Masses, 9 a.m. at St. Agatha, 11 a.m. at St. Martin de Porres, both services led by our contemporary gospel choir. The services are live streamed and available for viewing afterward online. We welcome your participation in our community prayer of praise and thanksgiving. Please take the time to share this video with others. It's a great way for you to evangelize. Thank you for all the ways that you continue to allow the Lord to work through you, with you, and in you. In all things, my friends, be blessed.